Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are ready for the final Alliance War video of the Big Thing War map. And this one's action-packed with two war fights. Same defender, same attacker, two different alliances. So, this is war number 11 up first. And at this point, we are in Masters, I believe, 14th in the world. And our goal is to get top 10 for the season. So, I'm just checking my boosts. You know, these last two wars are so important. So what I'm going to do actually is buy some bigger boosts for Radiance. Because for the Maestro war, I was not fully max boosted for that fight. And I think if I was, it would have made the difference between soloing and not dying. So definitely don't want to have anything like that happen again. I want to make sure I am boosted to the max and ready to finish these fights, man, completely. No screwing around, no mistakes in these final two wars. We need to bring home the W. So I got to do my part. So we're going to be bringing in Phoenix with, of course, Odin to get the Odin pre-fights. And now we're going to go ahead and boost up. So all my boosts are max except for the attack boost. It's just a 15% instead of 20%. I don't think it's going to be the biggest deal though. But yeah, max health boost, stay alive, and a max attack and health boost. I'm going to also go ahead and purchase some cosmic boosts. Not that they're really required or anything, but throw that on. Throw on a little XP boost, you know, why not? All right, let's go ahead and get in here. So I have fought Zola with Phoenix on node 10, you know, with hazard shift. And that's been fine. But this was a brand new placement for Zola for me to be fighting him. So rank 4 ARNIM ZOLA, of course. We're going to come in here and I very carefully hold my phone and apply these pre-fights so I don't accidentally go into the fight with Odin. So make sure being extremely, extremely careful right now. And now let's go ahead and take a gander at the nodes. So this guy is SIG 161, rank 4. We're boosting up. Throw on a little invulnerability boost, and yeah, we need to talk about the nodes a little bit, so I should pull those up in a second and we can discuss. So boom, right here, Big Thing challenge debuff control. So when the defender purifies, cleanses, or is immune to a debuff, gain 2 force charges. And then there's also Palette Cleanser. So whenever either champion gains a bar of power, the defender gains 1 stack of cleanse passive lasting 5 seconds. Then there's also Standing in Fear. While close to the defender gains a fatigue debuff every 3 seconds, reducing their critical rating permanently. Standing far away from the defender causes these fatigues effects to gradually fall off. So that is how we get our ramp. You know, that's how we get our force charges here. You know, at first, when I first got the assignment, I was a little bit worried. I was like, is it gonna be easy to build force charges? But then, you know, after talking to some alliance mates and talking things through a little bit more, I realized okay, you know, he'll be cleansing a decent amount of purifying, you know, a decent amount of debuffs, cleansing, purify. You know, just every time either of us go over bar of power, there should definitely be debuffs being purified. Debuffs application is not a problem here, so it should be fine. You know, the fight started, we're already at 6 force charges, so everything is going to be just fine. I know there wasn't really a need to worry. And there's no stun immunity here, so it's fine. We can just use our heavy attack anytime we want against the Zola. So I've already thrown one special one. Boom, there's a second special one. What I'm going to be going for here is Phoenix's longer fight rotation. So I got pushed to my special 2. That's fine. That's actually kind of a good thing, actually. I was going to go to my special 2 anyways. You don't want to throw the next special 1 yet. Not yet. You first want to go to special 2, activate that, get in the Cosmic Flame, and, you know, get off a little bit of damage, and then we're going to get off another special 1 in a bit to get up to 9 Furies, which is our max, but not yet. There's no rush. This is the most ideal rotation for war fights, in my experience. At least it's worked really well for me with my Phoenix. And so baiting out some specials. Boom, there we go. So now I will throw that special 1, and then I'm spamming the special button again to get off the special 2. There we go. He just got a bunch of stacks of the cleanse too, so that's good. We're getting a bunch of force charges cooking up, and I'm just going to keep on baiting out these special 2s. You know, one of my only deaths this season was to Zola with Beta Ray Bill, and in that fight, I probably should have been baiting out special 1s. But here, it doesn't matter, because Phoenix, you know, gets that regen buff every now and again, and it's more than enough healing to take care of the disintegration damage and remain topped off. So it's not really a big deal. So right now, you know, we got our 9 Furies, we got a bunch of force charges, we're doing our thing, and we're making sure to keep his Wi-Fi charges down as well. We've been keeping a good handle on them. So let's see here, he's at 43% when I start charging, goes down to 37%. Dude, we're doing so much damage right now. It is unreal. Just stay next to him, charge heavy, and you just see his health bar just start to slowly melt. It's awesome. I love Phoenix, man. She's so great. Really love using her against Zola. And here we're going to bait out another special 1. I'm just going to be blocking those. In the next fight, I'm going to need to focus on primarily baiting the special 1s and be punishing them, which is something I haven't really been the most used to in fighting Zola. But yeah, you'll see here, like, I don't think I'm really... Oh, there was a punish. Okay, a little dex into a punish. Not bad, not bad. So here, charging that heavy into special 2. Boom. Into the Insta Relic. And then boom, going to charge this heavy. And you can see his health is just getting melted. 7% health left. Bait out one more special 2. We still have well over a minute and a half on the clock. One final heavy charge. Boom. ARNIM ZOLA is down. Zola in the bin. 3 minutes, 16 seconds. The fight went great. Could have played it like a little bit better. I did lose the invulnerability boost at one point. And got hit, but still played it pretty good for the most part, I would say. So this was against XK9, and we did end up beating them. We only had a 4-death war, which I think is one of our best. It might be our best so far all season. Only 4 deaths. Phenomenal war for us. And yeah, we came together as an alliance. Like, we knew we need to win these last 2 wars if we want a chance at top 10. We came together, and boom, we executed. We had one of our best wars yet. Boom. All right. Now, there's one final war left, and this is our placement going into that final war. We're in Masters rank 1, but that's technically like 11th. That's rank 1 in the top 20 bracket. So 11th in the world right now. We are 1 spot away from being top 10 Masters, so we need to win this war. If we don't win, we're probably not going to go up. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this war, I looked up a video of someone doing this fight, because I hadn't seen Zola on this node before with Phoenix, and the video I watched on YouTube, someone died to it, and they like pretty much ran out of time. So I got a little bit worried, and I was like, okay, what? I need to do everything possible to make sure I don't die, don't time out, to make sure I go fast, you know, and just have a lot of damage. So I thought, boom, let's max out the enhanced Fury Mastery. This is going to increase, you know, those 9 Fury buffs, the potency of them, by 8% with just this mastery alone. So I figured it'd be a good idea to do that. So boom, did that. And, you know, so I was a little bit worried, but after talking again to some of my officers in my battle group, that video was posted before the Saga change. So now Phoenix is Saga. So it shouldn't be as bad. But again, since it's the final war of the season, I need to be max boosted. You know, I no room for error, no room for mistakes, no room for under boosting. It all comes down to this final war. I'm going to spend my Radiance on one of each of the boosts and completely max boost. I love that the Radiance store, I love the Radiance store, man. It's phenomenal. It's great. So, boom, we're going to be keeping Phoenix, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be keeping Odin as well. You know, he applies that aptitude pre-fight. That already is increasing our Furies by a nice amount. So boom, gonna go ahead and max boost. Of course, throw on some cosmic boosts as well. A little XP boost, because why not? And now we're gonna go ahead and join and jump to path D and get to this Zola. So this Zola is actually unduped, but it is of course rank 4 as well. So again, we're gonna apply those Odin pre-fights. Can't go wrong with the Odin pre-fights, man. You know, you're getting a nice little safety nets, you're getting shock immunity, which isn't needed, and then you're also just getting a nice aptitude. So for the nodes here, we have some weird stuff. We got energetic exercise. We got feats of power. So those are going to give Zola some buffs and multiple buffs and increase, his power gain. So, and then the node that really matters is the one right above there. Big Thing Challenge Buff Control. So the only way for us to gain any force charges in this fight is when one of the defender's buffs is nullified, staggered, or expires, or when a buff is prevented by ability action or immunity, gain 3 force charges. So when I first read through this, I was worried, and I was like, hold on. How the heck am I even going to be gaining force charges? Because I was like, with Phoenix, I can't nullify or stagger buffs or prevent them with ability accuracy, and there's no immunities here, so I was like, wait, what? But I completely missed and misinterpreted, or expires. They're like, once the buffs expire, you'll be gaining the force charges. And my advice for this fight was just to bait more special ones, because with the feats of power, when above 1 bar of power, gain a fury buff. When above 2 bars, gain a power. 2 bars of power, gain a precision buff. And when above 3 bars, gain a cruelty buff. So, we just want to keep getting him to 1 bar, get that fury buff, let it fall off, and then repeat. It's kind of going to be the go-to strat. And then with the energetic expertise, or energetic exercise, each time the defender gains a buff, they gain an energized buff. So every time they gain that fury buff with the special one, he's also going to gain a corresponding energized buff. And then again, once those fall off, we're going to gain the force charges. So I was really worried when I first read it, but then once I understand, I haven't fought at all on this node at all season, so I'm just not used to it, and that's always like the scariest thing is like, okay, well, what about the force charges? Can I build enough force charges? Like, no one wants to time out in this crazy season, So yeah, after talking to my battle group, I felt pretty confident. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the invulnerability boost, final war fight of the season, hopefully. Let's jump in here. Let's go. So we're max boosted. We're ready to go. And I just need an opening here. There we go. He throws a heavy attack. We'll take that. And boom, get this heavy charge going and nuke all 10 of his Wi-Fi charges. So we're going to go ahead and I just blocked the first one. Like I said, when I fight Zola normally, I don't typically bait the special one, and I don't typically go into punish. So it was a little bit of a learning curve on this fight. But I think starting right here, I just started going for it. Get the dex and then just go in, and it seemed to be working pretty good. Again, in the video I saw where the dude died or timed out, he also got parried one time trying to punish Zola's special one. So I was trying to make sure that I was never slow enough to get parried, because I had seen that happen. I didn't want that to happen to me. You can see he's got a lot of energize right now. He's gaining a lot of power, but that's kind of working in our favor because he's getting more buffs, and more buffs expiring, more force charges. So boom, just keep on baiting those special ones, punishing them. Boom, drop the heavy. He was at 17 charges. That gets rid of 10 of them. And then boom, just another quick heavy. Nuke those charges again. Here he's just getting a lot of power, so we end up baiting special 2. It's fine. It's all good. There's just a lot of power here with not only his energized passives, but also the energized buffs. But Phoenix doesn't really care. She's hitting hard. And, the great thing about Phoenix here in this exact matchup, and here now we're going to finish our full fight rotation and get those 9 Furies. But the really nice thing about Phoenix, is he has all those Energize. But Energize only works when you actually hit the opponent. So right here, we're just in his face charging our aura. Those Energizes are doing nothing. They do nothing when we're just sitting in his face charging, because we're not actually attacking him. So, yeah, dude, the heavy charge is just OP here, and it's our best source of damage because I don't have to give him really any power. Just, a little bit of power when I finish off the heavy attack. Here, kind of going deep, get off a ton of damage, and then drop a special 2. But I need to be careful because those Wi-Fi charges are getting up there. So, boom, we're going to make sure to get rid of them right now. Go for our heavy attack. They're at 18. Boom, drop them down to 8. And then I'm going to go ahead and bait this special. And we have taken a little bit of chip damage here. We're down to 76%, but it's fine. He's down under 10%. Oh, and yeah, he's dead. He is cooked. 2 Zolas dead, bro. Just destroyed by the GOAT Phoenix. 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Super duper quick fight. I was not selling on fight time in this final war. And it just felt so good, man. It felt so good to finish this season without dying. So at this point in the war, you can see it's pretty close. We have 1 death. They have 2, but they're a couple fights ahead, so it's super close. And we knew going into this war, the number that I read was that these guys average like 2 deaths. Like, we need to have 2 deaths or less if we really want a chance to beat them, which is insane. Like I just showed you in the last war, our lowest ever death count all season was 4, right? So we're gonna fast forward a little bit later into the war. We catch up on fights, so now we've done the identical amount of fights as them, and we're still up ahead by an entire death. Okay, I took a bunch of screenshots. Then we got 2 fights ahead of them. We still didn't die. We're still winning. Okay. And also notice that we're also ahead on fight duration right now. Our fight time is 4,012 seconds. Their fight time is 4,157 seconds. And we're 2 fights ahead. So we're looking really good at this point. Fast forward later in the war, they died again. So they died 3 times. We're still at 1. And we've actually gotten ahead of them on exploration. We only have 3 fights left at this point. And then boom. Only 2 fights left. We still only have 1 death. 1 fight left. We still only have 1 death. And then they died a 4th time. And at this point, I was like, dude, let's go. At this point, I was counting my chicks before they hatched. I was like, okay, this is a win, right? Like, there's no way. Even if we died 3 times to our final fight, we technically, as long as they didn't sell on fight time on all 3 of those too, we would still win. You know, so like I was feeling really, really, really good. And then the next morning I woke up to this. Man, we cried 1 death. 1 death war to end on, man. Get round of applause to the homies in For Loki, man. Give ourselves a little pat on the back. Like that is how you lock in. That is how you come together as an alliance for the final war of the season when Masters Top 10 is on the line and just everyone locked in, man. Crazy. 1 death. Again, our previous record was the war right before this, and it was 4 deaths. And we just smashed that. Like, man, so proud of us. So proud of the homies. And so that did propel us into Masters Top 10, of course. So that puts us at Masters rank 5 overall. So it's technically 8th. We got top 8 in the entire world for this season. And that means we get 250,000 radiance, bro, which is big baller. So I am going to, of course, have an Alliance War rewards video coming. But right now, my plan is to chill. I don't even want to claim this radiance yet until I see the deals for July weekend. This video is probably going to be posted after that anyways. But at this point, the season has ended. I still don't want to spend radiance because I don't know if I'm going to be buying any deals. You know, I don't want to spend radiance on something and then see it for super cheap in the deals, you know. So I'm going to make any purchases on that event first and then decide what I want to spend my radiance on after. So that's the plan. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Massive shout out to For Loki. The homies did such a good job. GG's to XK9 and to Celestial Avengers. I believe Celestial Avengers also did end up still getting top 10 masters themselves. So that's great for them. Shout out. But hey guys, it's going to go ahead and wrap up these double war videos. 2 of our best wars of the entire season. And me and Phoenix just destroying any rank 4 Zolas on the map as long as they're not stun immune. Yeah guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for these final 2 wars. Drop a like for the solos. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be on the lookout for the big baller radiance spending video. Peace.